Hey everyone, Darren here, aka Irish Latino Reacts, Irish on the bottom, Latin American on top, and today we are watching episode 6 of Firefly, and I'm not making the same mistake I've made in the last several videos. I have layers on today because it's been so cold in Denver over the past few days and it hasn't let up, and I'm in a basement, and I even have an emergency extra jacket right here, so let's go. So what was the hot button issue in last video and in the comment section? Did Mal change his mind, or was he always planning on going back for Simon and River? Now, most of the commenters fell on the latter side of things. I was reading through them. A lot of you were very convincing, and I responded to a bunch saying, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're probably right. But I was happy to eventually see that some very select minority was taking my side, or at least my initial side, because who doesn't like being agreed with? And then I started thinking about it more deeply. The main crux of people's arguments on Mal not changing his mind is that he had to tackle the most immediate problem first, that being Book's health. Besides that being obvious on the surface, there are a lot of smaller reasons that point to that being the right decision. And there are a lot of great commenters on the last video, but I did hone in on one specific one that pretty much covers everything. And I've never done this before, but I'm actually just going to read it to you verbatim. So bear with me. And if you recognize it, you know who you are. Yeah, bear with me. It's on this tiny screen. Okay. At 17:06 in this reaction, listen to Mal's words to Inara, particularly this: don't have time to be beating the trees looking. He's saying that Book needs medical treatment as soon as possible, and that scouring the hills looking for Simon while Book is dying is too risky. There's a lot of hills, and who knows how many settlements with no way to track which way they took them, as there's no tracking beacon on either Simon or River. Secondly, he mentions there's no guarantee Simon doesn't need a doctor himself, i.e. if Simon is already hurt, he might not be able to treat Book anyways. Thirdly, if, as Wash noted, the settlers take people they can use, Simon and River shouldn't be in any immediate danger. They should be safe with the hill folk until Mal can come back and find them. He didn't factor in the possibility that they would be fundamentalists prone to burning people at the stake. And then he goes on to say that Mal does have an ingrained habit of not explaining himself, just expecting people to take his own orders, and it does allow the writers to bait the viewers with misdirects like this one. Now, I'm not going to sit here and argue the other side of things with the goal of convincing you that that side is actually true. My only goal is to show you that neither side can be proven definitively. We'll never know whether Mal changed his mind or not. We can't read his mind, and based on the fact that he doesn't want to talk about it anymore, convinces me that we're not going to get the answer in future videos. You may be sure that he didn't change his mind because you think you know Mal, you think you have him pegged, and maybe you do, and maybe you do. So it makes sense for him not to have changed his mind in his perceived persona, with his perceived persona of having unwavering loyalty to his crew. It makes sense. And maybe it might make even more sense going forward when we see more of Mal's behavior and mannerisms. I'm just saying you can't prove it definitively. All of the reasons that the commenter I read gave are reasons that concentrating on getting Book medical attention first over finding Simon and River was the right choice, objectively. But that has zero bearing on whether Mal was thinking about or planning to go back for them after Book was taken care of. I can't prove it. Maybe you are all right, but I do have a little circumstantial evidence for the other side. Mal's line, if they are dumb enough to get themselves snatched, ... I mean, that could point to someone who thinks it's not worth it to go back for these people, circumstantially. His later line, we've already lost 2 people today, let's not lose a third. And one could argue implies that he already views the loss of River and Simon as permanent. One could argue. And finally, you have Jane saying something to the effect of, oh, it's going to be a lot easier to land places without fugitives on board. Now, Jane said it, not Mal, so maybe this point can be looked at as weaker than the other two. But the statement he makes is so true, and having fugitives on board affects Mal's not just livelihood, but life so starkly that one cannot just help but pause, help but have some doubt. I mean, come on. I guess Mal is Ned Stark, and he's unflappable in his honor. If you guys are arguing that, then so be it. I do not begrudge you of that opinion, but it is just an opinion. And the fact that he tells Simon at the end of the day that you're part of my crew, that's why I came back to you, that's all the explanation I or you need. Well, that could easily just be saving face after he's already made his decision. Now, look, everyone, I didn't just spend so much time on this one singular topic to go, bleh, some commenters, stupid. They think they can make me look stupid. I'm going to make them look stupid. No, I did it because it's a nuanced, fun discussion that we can have. And the fact that we can have it enhances this episode so greatly. It doesn't detract from it at all. It's a massive compliment to this episode and this show that this intro is so stupidly long. So, kudos, Firefly. Kudos. I'd like to thank all of my Patreon supporters for always supporting me. If you'd like to join them, you can find a link in the description down below where you can gain access to full-length reactions early. There's also a dirt cheap $1 a month option just for the sake of supporting me. If you are watching this on YouTube and you are not yet subscribed, please really consider doing so. It really helps out the channel. I know everyone says that, but it is so much more true for such a small channel as mine. Also, leave a like, leave a comment down below letting me know how annoying I was in this intro, but also letting me know what you thought of this episode and my reaction to it. So without further ado, let's get into episode 6 of Firefly. Right, Frankie? Ooh, I pointed to the right side. That's exciting. All right, we're on a swamp. Oh, no, you're not a swamp. A bayou or a river. Okay, someone's getting ambushed.
For intruding, you gonna give us what due us, and every damn thing else on that boat. And I think
give us what due us. I like that line.
With the missus.
Well, I think you might want to reconsider that last part.
It's Jane, okay.
Powerful, ugly creature.
How can you say that? How can you show me in front of the people?
If I could make you prettier, I would.
I love it. We're on another Western setting. There we go. Ah. Ooh, Zoe! Oh, marksman Zoe, yeah! All right, I like the transition.
So, explain to me again why Zoe wasn't in the dress?
Tactics woman. Needed her in the back.
She's the marksman.
This is real kind of nice. There's a whole airflow.
And you'd know that because...
You can't open the book of my life and jump in the middle. Like woman, I'm a mystery.
Oh, best keep it that way. I withdraw the question.
You are causing me some strife with my commenters, Mal. Blah!
Makes the rain come.
Oh, man. Book, I'm glad you're on your feet, baby. I love this. I know shit can't be this happy all the time, but, like, I really do like stuff like this. Doesn't have to be tension all the time. It needs some release. This is so fun. Aw. Can we just, like, stay here forever? Actually, I'm fine with that. 5 seasons of this. Come on, guys. Come on. I've never seen Mal smile that large.
We owe you a great debt. I'm sorry we have so little to pay it with. Though I hope our gifts will show our regard.
Mine's with Robo heading into Atmo right now.
Well, we gotta fly.
Is that some jugs of, Oh.
Who the hell are you?
What do you mean?
Well, I think I was pretty clear. What are you doing on my boat?
You know I'm to cleave to you.
To what about who?
Did Elder Gama not tell you?
Tell me what?
Oh, God. Oh, no. You gotta do, oh, man. You gotta do some research on the customs of the planets that you visit, Mal. You asshat! Alright. Intro's growing on me. Maybe part of it is just like what it represents. Because I love the show now. Not that I never did, but you know, I liked it. It's just, it represents that I'm like, I know I'm going to see something great. So there's some Pavlovian thing going on right there.
Could you repeat that, please?
I am your wife. That was your agreement with Elder Gammon since he hadn't cashed her livestock.
I'm sorry.
I don't
Maybe he likes
please
it.
you.
You can't please me. You never met me. So why do I have a wife?
You got a wife? All I got is that dumbass stick sounds like it's raining. How come you got a wife?
I didn't. We're not married.
I'm sorry that I shamed you.
You don't shame me. Zoe, would you get washed?
Why Wash specifically? Is he better with stuff like this?
Personnel in the cargo bay.
Oh, I said wash.
Captain, everyone should have a chance to congratulate you on your day of bliss.
Ah, yeah, Zoe, yeah. Yeah,
Hey.
let's like,
Don't sully this.
let's make Mal uncomfortable here.
I want you all to meet
Let's see Inara's face with
Mrs.
this.
Reynolds. You got married.
You see Inara's face?
Congratulations.
We'd always hoped you two kids would get together. Who is she? She's no one.
Wash.
Don't feel bad. He makes everybody cry. He's like a monster.
I'm not a monster. Wash, turn the ship around.
This.
Order. Yeah, but can't. What the hell is
Have
wrong
you
with
got an encyclopedia?
And there's already a bulletin on the Cortex as to the murder of a prefect's nephew. That's right, one of our bandits has family ties, so unless you feel like walking into a gallows, I suggest we continue on to Beaumont and you enjoy your honeymoon.
So.
This isn't happening. Would you stop crying?
For God's sake, Mal, could you be a human being for 30 seconds?
As one married man to another.
I'm not married. I'm sorry. You have very nice qualities, but I didn't ever marry you.
I believe you did. Last night.
How drunk was I last night?
I don't know. I passed out.
It says here, the woman lays the wreath upon her intended, which I do recall, which represents his sovereignty.
That was you?
And then there's a dance with a joining of hands. The
Yeah, that
marriage
happened.
ceremony of the triumph settlers.
I can't wipe the fucking smile off my face. Oh, okay, maybe I can. Come on, Mal. But no, this episode is already amazing. God, I've been watching some good fucking TV lately.
Sid, me and her got one thing in common. We're the only ones who don't think this is fun.
Oh, there's a third. There's a third who doesn't think it's funny.
You all right? Nobody said I was signing up to having a home.
Are you gonna kill me?
What? What kind of crappy planet is that?
In the maiden's home, I heard talk of men who weren't pleased with their bride.
Well, I ain't them. And don't you ever stand for that sort of thing. Someone ever tries to kill you, you try to kill them right back.
Good advice.
Wife or no, you are no one's property to be tossed aside.
All right.
You have the right
Some
same as
humanity from
anyone to
Mal.
Live and try to kill people.
A little humanity.
People that are... It's a dumb planet.
What will you do with me?
We're bound for Beaumont. Decent kind of planet.
Oh, that was a planet. Okay, that's why I didn't know
I'll
the
be able
word.
to set you up some sort of work there. Near a week before we get there.
Show her
Be a good wife.
where she can sleep at least.
Yeah, well, I'd be a terrible husband.
Yeah.
You have 5 whole days to figure that out.
5 days, we'll be together.
Is she like in her mind like, oh, I'm gonna turn this guy.
Kitchen's just through there.
I'm gonna change his mind.
I'm a fine cook, everyone says.
It's great. What? Hold it. Hold. I ain't never
My
even...
name is Saffron.
That's a pretty name.
If you take sexual advantage of her, you're going to burn in a very special level of hell.
Okay.
What? I am not...
Why? Because is
Preacher,
she
you got a smutty mind.
is she under?
Perhaps I spoke out of
Or
turn.
maybe half some thinking.
I apologize. I'll make her up a room in the passenger door.
Good.
There we go. Is she under a certain age?
The special hell.
Thank you.
Something smells good.
Having yourself a little supper, Captain?
Saffron insisted on it. You know, I didn't want to make her feel... It's damn tasty.
I thought I was gonna go the other way, honestly.
Make enough for your friends. But everything's laid out if you'd like to cook for your husband.
Does she?
Isn't she quaint? I'm just not hungry.
Does Zoe cook?
So,
I'm not trying to
are you enjoying
say
your
anything about that.
You buy a little slave girl?
She wanted to make me dinner. At least she's not crying.
Yeah. Did she really make fresh bow?
Quaint. Remember that sex we were planning to have ever again?
You know, you're all making a big deal. I would appreciate it if one person on this boat would not assume that I'm an evil, lecherous hump.
Is that cider?
By the stove.
Yum. I'll get you a refill.
That's for me to do. You don't want to finish?
No, I just...
That's not the right
I
choice.
have captainy things to do, but truthfully, that's a fine meal. Thank you.
If you're done with supper, would you like me to wash your feet?
That was one thing to walk away from without saying anything. I agree with that one. I agree with that one.
What do you want?
Oh, I just needed to hide. Do you ever
This will be interesting.
wash your client's feet?
It's my specialty.
I'm sorry, are you touchy because I got myself a bride or because I don't plan to keep her?
I find the whole thing degrading.
That was a good line.
That's just what Saffron said about your line of work.
Maybe you should think twice about letting go of Saffron. You two sound like quite a match.
Maybe you're right. Maybe we're soulmates.
Yes, great. I wish you hundreds of fat children.
Hell, 10 years' time, I could...
Can you leave me alone for 5 minutes, please?
Ooh, that. No more sarcastic banter with that line. Over then. You could just tell.
It is my very favorite gun.
Honeymoon gift?
You offering me a trade?
A trade? Hell, it's theft. This is the best damn gun made by man. It has extreme sentimental value. Call it Vera.
Jane, go play with your rain stick.
Huh. I misread that completely.
You're a good man.
You clearly haven't been talking to anyone else on this boat.
I don't wish to be wed to the large one. I'd rather, if I'm not to be yours, I'd rather have the work you spoke of. I could be useful on a ranch.
Okay.
It's good work. Oh, that is odd.
What?
I just don't... I'm not one who talks about what's past, and here you got me.
Does your crew never show interest in your life?
It's a wreck.
No, this is good.
It's parts. A lot of cheap parts will never unload.
This is why you'll never be in charge, Bree. You don't see the whole.
Scanning Serenity, okay.
I said exactly that.
But you put it together, you got a Firefly. She's a good catch.
Uh-oh.
She comes our way, you prep the nets.
Okay. Whoa.
Clearly, she's out of her mind.
Well, she's led a sheltered life.
Did you see the way she grabbed that glass from you?
Every planet has its own weird customs.
Of course. The man rushes in to defend her.
I'm talking about geese.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be babysitting a damn groupie, and he knows it.
Okay, when did this become not funny?
When you didn't turn around and put her ass back down on Triumph where it belongs.
Oh, hey! Now it's even my fault?
Why is Zoe
Is there
getting
anything
like
else on
this?
your mind that I should know about? There's all sorts of twists and cul-de-sacs. It's wild.
She's trouble.
I'm getting that.
I'm going to bed.
Go to bed. Go to bed. Oh, we've never seen captain's quarters.
Hey! You're, there you are.
I've made the bed warm for you.
It looks, warm.
And I've made myself ready for you.
Let's ride right past the part where you explain exactly what that means. Didn't you see you got a room of your own?
But we've been wed, aren't we, to become one flesh?
Well, no. We're still two fleshes here, and...
I'm sorry, when we talked, I'd hoped, but I don't
Oh, hey,
please you.
flesh. Saffron, it ain't a question of pleasing me. It's more a question of what's...
That's right.
Of what's morally right.
I'm not skilled, sir, nor a pleasure to look upon.
Saffron, you're pleasing. You're, hell, you're all kinds of pleasing. And, it's been a while. A long damn while since anybody but me took a hold of my plow, so don't think for a second that I ain't interested. But you and me, we ain't married. Just because you got handed to me by some whodun couldn't pay off his debts, don't make you beholden to me. I keep trying to explain.
Let me explain. I lived my life in the maiden house, waiting to be married off for trade. I seen my sister paired off with ugly men, vicious or blubberous, men with appetites too unseemly to speak on. And I've cried for those girls, but not half so hard as I cried the night they gave me to you.
Wow. Wow.
Why, is it blubber?
I cried, for I'd not dreamed to have a man so sweet, so kind and beautiful. Had I the dare to choose, I'd choose you from all the men on all the planets the night sky could show me. If I'm wed, I am a woman, and I'll take your leave to be bold. I want this. I swell to think of you in me. And I see that you do too.
That's just...
Leave me at the nearest port. Never look upon me again. I'll make my way with the strength that you've taught me. Only let me have my wedding night.
Oh, I'm gonna go to the special hell. I really wish it was that simple, girl, but I... Son of
Night, sweetie.
No, come on! Not that I wanted them to have sex, but like, oh, now she's evil? Fuck!
If it is the master chef.
I'm disappointed.
Everyone else is taking up space.
You're so sweet.
What are you doing?
Now we're alone, just us and the stars. Do you know the myth of Earth that was? That when she was born, she had no sky and was open, inviting.
To asteroids.
And the stars would rush into her.
Wash, get away from her.
Roofs and steeples and the cellar door.
Cellar door.
A few days, I'll be back to that life and gone from yours. Make this night what it should be.
Wash, how are you even letting this happen?
I thought she didn't seem to respect you.
Not everybody gets me and Zoe at first glance.
You love her very much.
Yeah. I never did meet anyone quite like Zoe. The first time we met, she actually frisked me.
Holy crap. Wow, now she's a ninja? Oh my god. So, who is she working for? Someone on the planet she came from, I imagine, but... Okay. How's she gotta clean this up, or fake this, or... What is that? Something to seal the door? Or sabotage the door?
Are you lost? I was on the Cortex and my screen shorted. This one's out too.
I don't mean to be rude. A companion's life is so glamorous and strange. I wish I had the skill for such a trade.
To please your new husband?
Oh, he'll have none of me. If I'm to learn of love, I'd like it to be at the hands of someone gentle.
Oh, Nara, come
I
on.
said, you don't approve of my work.
Oh, man.
Sure, and he said that to keep you from me. I was too curious about you. Ever since I saw you.
God, she's good.
Come to my shuttle.
Oh my god, even Inara is susceptible.
You would lie with me.
I guess we've lied enough.
You're good.
You're amazing. Who are you?
Malcolm Reynolds' widow.
Okay. Okay, so Inara wasn't... Well, maybe she was until she heard the alarm. What is her endgame? Saffron's endgame.
He's bleeding. Bone in there.
What's going on? Mel.
Wow, alright.
Get the doctor, Mel's hurt.
Oh no. Right.
You stupid son of a...
Now she realizes they kissed.
Is it Christmas?
Your blushing bride was a plant. She took both of you out.
Plan for who?
Narcotic compound. Probably spread over a seal on her lips. You get it on yours, and pow.
Lips, huh?
Huh.
So you two were kissing.
Well, isn't that
Wash, how did... Hey, I just got kicked in the head.
My man would never fall for that chin. Look.
you were taking advantage of?
I was the one being taken advantage of.
My apologies. You were victimized, Wash was beaten, and Nara found you here.
And then I fell. My head got hurt like Wash.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get any of this.
I only fell is all. I'm fine. I don't need to be examined. I'm comfy.
Why the big act? What was she after?
Besides molesting innocent captives?
You want to stir what? Preacher words?
Yeah, Book, be
She can fly this
quiet.
thing, why'd you take the shuttle?
She's a pro.
This is a masterful job of muck-up. We are so hung. I'm glad you two are having a good time under there. Can we progress to the making it right?
That's not gonna happen for a long while, Captain.
Well, we don't have a good long while. We could be headed straight into a nice big solid moon for all we know. So, how's about we get to work?
It was your big makeout session that got us into this, sir.
I was poisoned.
You were drugged.
Girl really knows her ships.
It's not all she knows. She's well schooled.
Oh, you mean the sedative?
Seduction, body language, signals. She's had training. As in companion. As in
Okay.
academy.
Okay.
She tried to seduce me too.
Really? Did she?
You don't play a player.
You would have kissed her too.
They're coming!
How far out?
10 minutes or so,
So she's with these guys. These guys don't seem like reavers at all. Okay. Just like snatchers. Just use that word.
We got life, we got screens. It's a qualified yes, a partial.
What about nav patrol?
No.
So where are we headed?
The coordinates she entered, we're headed for something and it's not too far.
It's like a circle. It's a net.
End of the line.
Book, the experience with this. Uh-oh. Just gonna incapacitate the ship, I guess?
We fall into that, we're more than just helpless. It'll turn this ship into one big electrical conduit, burn us all from the inside out.
Some of the newer ones will just hold you. And then the scrappers will override the airlocks. Pull the O2 or just gas you.
Oh my god.
They're not looking to deal with survivors.
Right.
One day you're gonna tell us all how a preacher knows so damn much about crime.
We're gonna need a plan B. I figure we got one shot at this. Give me a visual as soon as we're close. It won't be long.
What do I do?
You go get Vera.
Right.
She needs oxygen around her to fire, and we don't have a case.
Gonna use a suit. See these 6 points where it's brightest? Those are the breakers. Get one of those. Should short it out.
What do you mean, should?
Maybe hit 2. Shit. Okay.
You see it? Clear as day.
It's kind of hard to miss, Mel.
See Vera? Dress yourself up.
But he only has one shot because then the suit's gonna vent. Come on, Jane. All right. Oh, he can still shoot? You're not just dealing with anyone, boys. Oh, and there goes some. Sorry, folk. Okay, they got through it.
We got it.
But they still don't have nav.
Pretty, but we can steer enough to turn the hell around.
Nice work, Kaylee.
Soon enough to help.
Hey, a lot easier to pull things apart than this to put them right. Still the best mechanic floating.
Captain, don't you know kissing girls makes you sleepy?
Sometimes I just can't help myself. Now, let's go visiting.
Whoa. Different setting. All right. All right.
Looks like you get their wedding night after all. It's the first time, darling. I think you should be gentle with me.
You gonna kill me?
Can you conjure up a terribly compelling reason for me not to?
I didn't kill you.
You handed me and my crew over to those that would kill us. That buys you nothing.
Yeah.
I made you dinner.
Why the act? All the seduction games, the dancing about folk, there has to be an easier way to steal.
Yeah.
You're assuming the payoff is the point.
I'm not assuming anything at this juncture.
How'd you find me?
Only a few places that shuttle would make it to from where he left. Happy to find it intact.
You're quite a man, Malcolm Reynolds. I've been waiting a long time for someone good enough to take me down.
Saffron, you even think about playing me again, I will riddle you with holes.
Okay, not gonna kill her?
Everybody plays each other. That's all anybody ever does. We play parts.
You got all kinds of learning and you made me look the fool without trying, and yet here I am with a gun to your head. That's because I got people with me. People who trust each other.
Okay.
Who do for each other and ain't always looking for the advantage.
Promise me you're gonna kill me soon.
Oh, you already know I ain't gonna.
You know, you did pretty well. Most men, they're on me inside of 10 minutes. Not trying to teach me to be strong in the leg.
Okay.
I got one question for you. Just one thing I'd like to know straight up. What's your real name?
All right.
You don't live lied anyhow.
And does the vixen live?
Yeah, if you can call it that. You're a very graceful woman, Nora.
Thank you.
Does he know she kissed him?
So here's where I'm fuzzy. Came and found me, and somehow you happened to just trip and fall.
What do you mean?
Come on, Nora. How's about we don't play? You didn't just trip, did you?
No.
Oh, it's not something. I knew you let her kiss you.
Oh, come on. Is that what you really think? Guess we'll never know. Or is Mal just that dumb? Hey everyone, Darren here. This is the first time I have ever recorded a little post-editing video that I want to insert here. And I'm doing this at the risk of losing some comments on this video. And what I mean by that is sometimes the more oblivious I look, or the more questions I have, render me more comments. But there's something decently obvious that came up through the edit that I realized. It goes, right with the scene that we just watched between Anara and Mal. Does Mal know that Anara kissed him or not? And in the reaction, I just questioned it. But it seems obvious to me now that unless he's really, 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 really dumb, he knows that Anara kissed him. It's just because of the circumstances. Not circumstantial, because of the actual circumstances. The only way that Anara kisses Saffron, and that's why she, gets knocked out, because Mal believes she didn't just trip and fall, it is for Anara to kiss Saffron in the room that Mal is lying on the ground incapacitated. You think Anara would ever do that? Like, that's just madness. So, of course, Mal knows that he got kissed by Anara, and he's probably just toying with her at the end, saying, I knew you kissed Saffron. But that's all I wanted to say. Okay, now back to the reaction. All right, another great one, folks. Let's talk about episode 6. All right, another episode down. I think this one's going to be a shorter outro, not only because I gave you a nice beefy intro, but I feel like I don't have too much to say about this one. Maybe that'll change as I ramble on. But another great episode. I definitely loved the first half more than the second. The first half was like so good, and I'm trying to figure out why that is. First, I loved being on another planet. I just love the Western vibe, folks. I just can't get enough of it. And we got another one that, yeah, it was similar in aesthetics to the one we just got in episode 5, but it's obviously the vibes, very different. Love the party vibe and whatnot. I wish it lasted longer. I wish it lasted 5 seasons, like I said. I like parts of shows that aren't just like tension filled and heart thumping action. I like seeing characters happy. I definitely do. I think there is some entertainment in that and some happiness in that. The dancing, I've never seen Mal smile that large. Jane was excited about a stick. of Rain, Wash and Zoe, just there hanging out by each other. And then Book out on the outskirts of the party, I guess blessing some of the fallen. So it's all added up to like a really nice hodgepodge of a scene. And I knew something was going to go, well, I said something was going to go wrong, and I guess it did. What eventually goes wrong, definitely, I couldn't see. So then we get Saffron on the ship, and she played me. She played me. I didn't think, and maybe I'm a gullible person, and I'm a self-admitted gullible person at times. I also don't, as a reactor, I'm not one who likes to think so far ahead. Maybe I'm guilty of it sometimes, but I don't like when reactors, did I say actor? Like reactors like try to break the show they're watching and get to the reveal beforehand. I don't think it makes for a good reacting theater at all. So I wasn't thinking too hard about, oh, Saffron is a double agent or a plant. I really wanted to believe her shtick because it was very, very good and very convincing. And I was more focused on Mal's morality of not taking advantage of her, at least so quickly. And I mean, yeah, she definitely was the one doing the seducing at the end of the day. And it took him a long, long time to be seduced. So was I surprised? I was. And call me gullible. Say like I should have seen it coming from 100,000 miles away. That's just me. Once again, I don't put extra effort into trying to figure twists out before they come. I don't think that's what you guys want me to do. If I get something and it just comes to me, maybe I'll say it and whatnot. But yeah, no, I like to react to the twists as they come. And yeah, I think that makes for the best theater. So hopefully you guys agree with that. But so she's on the ship, and that first scene on the ship with Mal being super embarrassed, I guess is the word, and Zoe calling everyone down saying this is the new Mrs. Reynolds. I think the episode's called Our Mrs. Reynolds. Was so great. I had this shit-eating grin on my face for most of the first 15 minutes of this episode. It was so good. And yeah, I actually was disappointed when it was revealed that she was a double agent and whatnot. I don't know. I don't know what else I would have wanted to happen. I guess maybe I would have wanted them to spend like the 5 days together and for Mal to really almost fall in love with her and then have to let her go. But then there would have to be some other, other conflict, other B story conflict. But no, the conflict came from the A story, which is Saffron. And seems to be a ninja, and she knows her stuff around a ship. Definitely not as good as Kaylee, because Mal said it's a lot easier to take stuff apart than put stuff back together, like the Flowbots handlebars lines. I can take apart the remote control, and I can almost put it back together. So that's very true. That's something I live by. Yeah, and I call them snatchers. I know there were snatchers in the last episode, but like the space snatchers in the ship, that was a decently short-lived conflict. I guess I would criticize this episode for that. A small criticism, a small one. I love the episode. I love this show. It's hard to criticize it. It didn't last long, though. I mean, Jane shot it with their plan B, and they got their comeuppance, got what was coming to them. They were trying to snatch Firefly for parts and whatnot. And, they did say like, oh, even with like an engineer or a mechanic, like only half knowing what they were doing could do what they wanted to do. So I was thinking maybe they would want to keep the survivors alive, figure out who the mechanic is, and keep Kaylee alive and stuff. But I guess that's not the case. So let me know what those people are called. They definitely weren't Reavers. They definitely weren't psychotic. But yeah, and then we get this nice scene in the snow, and Mal finds Saffron, and I get why he didn't kill her. At first, maybe I wanted him to for a split second, but only for a split second. I get why. Like, she had to infiltrate their ship in such a convoluted way to get her plan to work. She's not gonna be able to do that again to him. Or if she even goes near him, he will shoot her. So I get why he kept her alive and whatnot. But yeah, another great Firefly episode. I think someone said that the first 5 are like intro episodes, and I don't know if that's their opinion or they got that from Joss Whedon. That's just hard for me to say. But yeah, we're past that. Episode 6. And so there is 8 episodes left, plus a movie. And I'm already feeling the sadness. I think if I'm starting to feel the sadness, maybe you guys can accept me into the Brown Coat Club. Because, yeah, I know it's a great club to be a part of, but there's also a hint of sadness to it. I think you'd all admit that for what they did to this show. Because it's so good. Thank you for watching this reaction with me here on YouTube. If you are not yet subscribed, please really think about doing so. It helps out the channel so much, especially such a small channel as this one. And leave a like, leave a comment down below, not only of what you thought of this episode, but what you thought of my reaction to it. All right, everyone, I will catch you in the next reaction.